Welcome back to McKee Field. Kenny Schierlinger alongside myself this afternoon as we're going to continue Game 1 between the Miami Redhawks and the Ball State Cardinals. This game will pick up in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. We have a new pitcher coming in for Miami to restart this game. It's going to be Shane Smith, the right-hander, number 17. He's boasting 28 innings pitched this season with a 2.2 ERA. Still at bat is John Ricotta for the Ball State Cardinals. He is 0 for 1 with a base on balls yesterday in this ball game, as we're going to continue it as we have an open opportunity to get some baseball in. They are calling the other game that was supposed to happen today, and they're postponing it until tomorrow. The games will continue tomorrow at noon, and there will be a doubleheader on Easter Sunday here at McKee Ballpark between Miami and Ball State. The second game will follow 45 minutes after the first game at noon tomorrow. We'll have that call for you on Red Hawk Radio. I'm Kenny Schierlinger, and we're about to get back to action here. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th, and John Ricotta steps into the right-handed batter's box. Here comes the first pitch from Shane Smith, and it's a swing and a miss. It's fouled back at the fence, and that's going to keep the count at the same 1-2 count here. With 2 outs, we're still scoreless here, and Miami has a no-hitter going. Shane Smith continuing that here in the 6th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Smith comes to the plate, and it's popped up. Foul, and it's going to drift right into the Ball State bullpen down the first baseline and keep the count once again. So 2 foul balls to start this rain delay of a ball game that is picking back up here at 11:32 local time here in Oxford, Ohio. Like we mentioned, it's been raining all weekend, and tomorrow it should be clear on Easter Sunday, so both these teams will be able to finish off their much-anticipated series. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back again. This one grounded back into the netting behind home plate. Ricotta batting .298 on the season with 26 runs, 6 homers, and 31 RBIs. Having a good year is Ricotta. Another pitch coming, and it's swung on prematurely by Ricotta, and he fouls it into the Miami bullpen down the third baseline. 4 straight foul balls here from Ricotta. He's battling off Shane Smith. Both these teams at the top of the MAC standings. Miami adds the top with a 10-2 record in the MAC, and then we get another foul ball that drifts into the parking lot over the Ball State bullpen and out of play. Ball State in second at 7-3, so this is a crucial series for both of these teams. Ricotta trying to get, Shane Smith trying to get Ricotta as he fires in a ball there to even up the count at 2-2. Not much offense going for both of these squads here. Both these teams we expected to have some runs because they're very good in the offensive department. But it's been a stalemate so far in this ball game. Shane Smith comes to the plate, and we get a check swing from Ricotta, and they said he goes. So that's going to end the inning here at McKee Field as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're still scoreless here between Miami and Ball State. You're listening to Miami Redhawks baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural. You must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food. Because this ad is trying to change the world's behavior through brainwashing. Because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. And that costs a family of four $1,500 a year. Save the food. Cha-ching. It's worsening climate change through the release of methane gas. Save the food. Cha-ching. And it's wasting precious natural resources like our fresh water. Save the food. Cha-ching. So when you hear this sound, don't be neutral. Rethink your behavior. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit savethefood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to McKee Field. Kenny Schierlinger all by himself this afternoon as we're continuing Game 1 of this series between Ball State and Miami. We're still scoreless here as Miami's going to take the bat for the first time today to continue this ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still scoreless. Miami still with a no-hitter going. Shane Smith continuing that, and coming up the bat for Miami as he will face Kyle Nicholas as Christian Tejada. Nicholas stepping in for Dre Jameson. Nicholas, a right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 205 from Massillon, Ohio, a sophomore. So he'll try to continue the one-hitter that Ball State has been going. As we've had some chances in this ball game yesterday, Miami loaded up the bases and couldn't manufacture a run. Ball State has threatened as well with a lot of base on balls going here for both of these squads as the first pitch is fired in there for a strike. 0-1 count with no outs. Scoreless here. Christian Tejada at the plate. Right-handed batter takes the second pitch for a ball and even up the count. Tejada cocks the bat over his right shoulder. Right-handed batter's box. Miami wearing the red jerseys with white pants this afternoon as this 1-1 pitch is high for a ball. Hitters count here. Ball State with the black jerseys, gray pants, black caps. Miami also donning the red caps with the red jerseys. The 1-2 pitch from Nichols is low and gets past the catcher, Chase Sebi, and that's going to bring the count to 3-1 here with no outs. Christian Tejada, the speedy center fielder for Miami. He's 1 for 2 in this ball game as he takes a high ball for the fourth ball of the at-bat. He will get on base as Kyle Nicholas walks the leadoff runner, and that's going to bring up Will Vogelsang, who has reached on base on balls in this ball game. He's batting .319 on the season, 1 homer, 17 RBIs, and 33 runs. Vogelsang coming from Cincinnati, Ohio, right down the road, and went to Art Bishop Muller from the GCL down the street as well. As the first pitch is check swing by Vogelsang. It's high, and they're going to call that for a ball. So 1-0 count with no outs. Scoreless here between Miami and Ball State with Christian Tejada standing on first base. He takes his lead, modest lead for Tejada. Miami does like to steal on the base pass and has been very successful. 88 for 105 on the season as that 1-1 pitch is fired in there for a strike from Nicholas and evened up the count at 1-1. On deck for the Redhawks is Landon Stevens, who came up with 2 outs yesterday with the bases loaded and had a long fly ball get knocked down by the wind in left field. And a lot of people at the ballpark here, as that ball's been put into play by Ball, is saying it's going to be a double play there by Ball State as they turn the 6-4-3 double play to get 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Landon Stevens now with the base pass empty. Very nice play from the Ball State defense, and Kyle Nicholas has to love that as he's only 1 out away from getting out of the inning, as the defense has been more than stellar in this ball game today and yesterday, as we're still scoreless here. As Landon Stevens, the 275 hitter, swings at the first pitch, and that's that 1 out of play. Back at the screen for a call strike there on the foul. Kyle Nicholas pitch count up to 9 as he comes to the plate, and that's another foul over the netting behind home plate. 0-2 count, 2 outs with Jordan Stevens on deck. No relation to Landon Stevens. We'll be joined by Jordan Stevens after the ball game to get a quick interview about the series so far. As that pitch is fired in there for a ball. Misses on the outside corner. 1-2 count. Got to believe that Stevens and the rest of the Red Hawks and Ball State Cardinals are kind of disappointed in the way this series has went. So as the weather has been pretty tough and they've unable to get much baseball in this weekend. As that pitch is fired in there to even up the count as a ball. 2-2. Landon Stevens, the right-handed batter, stands in the batter's box. He takes the pitch from Nicholas. He's swing and a miss, and Kyle Nicholas gets Landon Stevens on strikes. And that's going to end the 6th inning here at McKee Field. Still scoreless as Ball State comes to bat in the top of the 7th. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know. Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to McKee Field. Kenny Schierlinger here as we start the top of the 7th inning. Ball State coming to bat here, and stepping into the batter's box is William Baker as he'll face off with the right-handed sophomore Shane Smith. That first pitch is swung on, popped up into left center field, and Christian Tejada has no problem with that. Oh, he drops the ball there, and it's going to be a double as Baker gets the double on the error there by Christian Tejada. He kind of lost the ball. It looked like he wasn't going to have any problem with it, but the last second, this ended up dropping it. With the wet weather out here, it's got to play a factor in that. So big break there for Ball State as Baker heads to second base. So that's going to put a running scoring position for the Cardinals, and coming to bat for Ball State is going to be Mac Murphy. They're going to score that as an error. Mac Murphy batting .299 now with a runner in scoring position. He's going to lay a bunt down the third base baseline, and Jordan Stevens is going to field it, go to first base, and they're not going to be able to get him as Stevens tried his best to get there. And the runner there, Mac Murphy, beats it out, and Ball State is in business with no outs. Runners on the corners, and coming up the bats is Chase Sebi, the catcher for Ball State. Golden opportunity for Ball State to get a run here. Shane Smith now in a predicament here early in the top of the 7th inning. No score, but Ball State is threatening with runners on the corners. First pitch is laid down a bunt. Now the first baseline, sacrifice squeeze, and Shane Smith mishandles it, and he's going to fall down, and we're going to get time called as runner scores here for Ball State, and now we have a run coming for Ball State as they lead it now 1-0, and Shane Smith is shaken up down there on the field. He looked like he slipped. So scoring for Ball State is going to be Mac Murphy. So runners now on first and second as Shane Smith gets up gingerly, and he's going to take a couple pitches, warm-up pitches at the mound and see if he can still go. So Ball State takes the early 1-0 lead as we're now in the top of the 7th inning in this continuation of the rain delay game 1 from yesterday as the sacrifice squeeze works out for Ball State as they get Mac Murphy home, and they're still not done yet. No outs with runners in first and second. Ball State looking to build upon that lead. One run on 1 hit and 2 errors here for Ball State. So the Miami no-hitter is no more. Both these teams with 1 hit. Miami now with 2 errors. And we're going to take a quick break here as Shane Smith is getting stretched out over there by the athletic trainers. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
2 new settlements totaling $1.2 billion have been reached with Halliburton and Transocean over the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. People and/or businesses may be eligible for payments from these settlements pending in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. The majority of the money will go toward compensating local fishermen, as well as individuals, businesses, local governments, and other entities. If you filed a claim in the settlement with BP, you do not need to file a new claim. Your claim will automatically be considered for payment from these settlements by virtue of having participated in the settlement with BP. The settlements will not pay for any economic loss or personal injury claims. Go to GulfSpillPunitiveDamagesSettlement.com or call 1-877-940-7792. Paid for by the Halliburton and Transocean Settlement Fund.
Back to action we go here. Kenny Schierlinger all by himself today as Shane Smith is ready to go there on the mound. Got his warm-up pitches in, and we're showing bunt again for Ball State as that first ball is fired in there for a ball on the outside part of the plate. Ball State reaching on the sacrifice squeeze. They score it as an error. There's questionable call there from the scorer's table. It was a very nicely put down bunt. But nonetheless, it scores a run. Now the runners on first and second for Ball State here with no outs in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch fired in there for a strike by Shane Smith, and he evens up the count at 1-1. Noah Powell at bat for the Cardinals. He's been showing bunt the first 2 pitches from Smith. Now he's going to cock the bat back and then show bunt once again. Smith comes to the plate, and that's a breaking ball that misses the plate outside. And that's going to bring up a 2-1 count here with no outs. Runners on first and second for Ball State. This inning was ignited by the Christian Tejada error as he dropped the fly ball in left center field. And we get a bunt down the first baseline. It's going to roll foul, picked up there by Reed Norberg. Landon Stevens drifting over to first base, trying to cover. All State Manufacturing runs off of bunts here, and they've been successful trying to get a couple more runs if they can, as they lead it 1-0 against Miami here in the continuation of this Game 1 between the Cardinals and the Red Hawks. Both these teams 1-2 in the MAC standings. The 2-2 pitch coming from Shane Smith, and it's bunted down the third baseline, rolled foul, picked up by Cal Evers. And that's going to be strike 3 there on Noah Powell as he strikes out on the bunt. That rolls foul, and that's going to bring up Tim Blankensberger, the DH for the Cardinals. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts in this ball game, batting .212 on the year with 6 RBIs, 1 homer, 3 runs. He hopes to increase that number of RBIs here with a runner in scoring position for the Ball State Cardinals with 1 out. Mac Murphy over there on second base. First pitch is fired in there for a strike. 80-mile-an-hour changeup there from Shane Smith. The 1 pitch from Smith is swung on and fouled back by Blankensberger, and that's going to bring the count to 0-2 with 1 out. Miami trying to keep the damage minimal here in the top of the 7th inning. Blankensberger has struck out 2 times in this ball game as he faces the 0-2 pitch today. Goes way outside, called for a ball, 1-2 count. Shane Smith trying to add to the total of Blankensberger strikeout count, which sits at 2. Blankensberger from Kokomo, Indiana, as he faces the 1-2 pitch, and that one's outside, and evens up the count at 2-2. At the Northwestern High School, the redshirt sophomore, listed at 6'2", 207. And he's got a 2-2 count coming up here. Shane Smith sets, winds, goes to the plate, outside, and that's going to fill the count up at 3-2 with 1 out. Runners on first and second for Ball State. Shane Smith's going to have to be careful here. He doesn't want to load him up for the top of the order, as Aaron Smith is on deck for the Cardinals. He's reached on 2 base on balls in this ball game yesterday. So the 3-2 pitch is fired in there for a ball, and that's going to load up the bases there by Shane Smith. And the Cardinals are still in business here with the bases loaded. And Aaron Smith, he's batting .362 on the season with 38 runs, 3 homers, and 33 RBIs. Is definitely a dangerous batter to be facing right now when you're already down 1-0 here in the top of the 7th inning, already trailing 1-0. No offense yesterday as we were suspended in the top of the 6th inning. Now we have some more runs. The first pitch is a curveball that gets Simpson swinging there. That's going to bring the count to 0-1 with 1 out here. Pretty looking pitch there from Shane Smith. Trying to get out of this inning. He needs a ground ball. If Miami can turn a double play, they could get out of the inning with only surrendering 1 run here in the top of the 6th. 0-1 pitch. Another off-speed pitch at 82 miles an hour that sneaks in there and catches the part of the plate. And it's a 0-2 count here for Simpson. And Shane Smith is dealing here in this at-bat, trying to get out of the inning here. The 0-2 pitch is fired in there for a ball. It's going to bring the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind blowing a little bit less than yesterday. Looks like it's moving from left field to right field. But definitely not the same amount of wind that we had yesterday as the storm was rolling in. The 1-2 pitch is fired in there. Swing and a miss there from Simpson as Shane Smith gets him on strikes. And that's going to bring it to 2 outs as Noah Navarro steps in with the bases loaded. Miami almost out of the inning. If they can just get out of this with 1 run, that would probably be a successful inning, as they have shown this has been the most troubling inning for them, as they've had 2 errors, starting with Christian Tejada and then Jordan Stevens on third base, as that first pitch is fired in there for a ball on the outside. Just misses the plate. Navarro batting .301 on the season. The 1-0 pitch swung on and tapped foul on deck as Ross Mazzina bare hands that one. Hands it over to the Ball State dugout, and that evens up the count at 1-1 here with 2 outs. Ball State leads at 1-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Shane Smith trying to get out of this inning with only 1 run surrendered. He's almost there. He comes home with the 1-1 pitch, and that one's going to be outside, off speed, and it's going to bring the count to a hitter's count, 2-1. Noah Navarro, the infielder, right-handed hitter from Avon, Indiana. Redshirt freshman. The 2-1 pitch is swung on and batted into right field. This is going to score 1. It's going to score 2 as it's a slide in there by Chase Sebi, and that's going to bring the lead for Ball State to 3-0 here in the top of the 6th inning, as big base hit there for Noah Navarro. 2 RBI single there for Navarro as he extends the lead to 3-0. And Shane Smith still trying to get out of this inning with a runner on first and second now off of the Navarro single that scored 2. The first pitch is fired in there for a foul ball as Ross Messina swings at that one and taps it over to the Miami dugout. A 1 pitch from Smith as he comes in there, and it's going to be called for a ball. Misses the inside of the plate. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Ball State leads at 3-0 here. 3 runs, 2 errors for Miami, and the RBI single for the Cardinals. scores 2. A couple minutes ago there from Noah Navarro. The 1-1 pitch is a foul, and that's going to bring the count to 1-2 here, as we're going to get a mound visit from Cal Evers. He wants to talk it over with Shane Smith. New baseballs coming in from the Miami dugout. Got to keep those dry there. It's lots of moisture in the air. It's not drizzling now, but rain is coming shortly. They're trying to get this game over with, and then they can play 2 games tomorrow. The doubleheader starting at noon on Easter Sunday, with the weather clearing up for tomorrow. Should be a good one. Forecast is about 60 degrees. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny. 1-2 pitch is fired in there for a strike as he strikes out Ross Mazzina looking, but not before Ball State scores 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning and jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Miami trying to answer that coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kenny Schierlinger alongside himself here at McKee Field as you're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid.
It's going to bring up Kyle Winkler here for the Redhawks as he's going to step in the batter's box with 1 out after the Jordan Stevens ground out. First pitch is called there for a strike. 0-1 count. Second pitch is fired in there for another strike there. 93 mile an hour right down the plate. Had Winkler looking there. He's going to have to wake up here against Kyle Nicholas, the hard-throwing right-handed pitcher for the Cardinals, as he fires that 0-2 pitch in there for a ball. It gets away from the catcher, Sebi. Sebi, one of the Cardinals that scored in the last inning, in the 7th inning, along with Mac Murphy and William Baker. Count at 2-2 now after the ball. The 2-2 pitch is fired in there for another ball, and it's going to fill up the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Ball State still leading it 3-0 here as they had the 3-run inning. 3-2 count, 3-2 pitch is fired in there, swing and a miss there by Kyle Winkler as he strikes out, and that's going to bring up Cal Evers with 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nothing really doing for the Red Hawks in the 7th inning, and they're trying to answer the Ball State 3-run inning just moments ago. It was started by the error by Christian Tejada, who dropped the fly out there in left center field, and then Jordan Stevens couldn't handle the bunt, couldn't beat it, get it over the first base to make the out, and that really started the inning there as they loaded it up, and then a 2-run single there by Ross Mazzina gets him on the board as Cal Elvers swings on that one and knocks it in the left field for a hit as he picks up the single here with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Cole Andrews. Number 7 batter in the order is Andrews, who will step into the right-handed batter's box. Trying to manufacture some runs here is Miami. We're at the top of the 12 o'clock hour now here at McKee Field in Hayden Ballpark here in Oxford, Ohio. Have a window of no rain this Saturday afternoon to try to finish this Game 1 series that was supposed to be finished yesterday, and we're going to play doubleheader tomorrow with the rain clearing out by tomorrow morning. As that first pitch is fired and then for a ball on the outside corner of the plate. Kyle Nicholas, 1-0 pitch is fired in there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Runner on first base for the Red Hawks. That's Cal Elvers on the Buster Posey Award watch list this season. He's having a great year for the red and white. 1-1 pitch is missed there on the inside corner of the plate. It's going to bring up a 2-1 count. Nicholas couldn't get enough of the plate there to get that called for a strike. Cole Andrews trying to get on base here and move over the runner. Kyle Elvers. Cole Andrews with 1 strikeout, 0 for 2 in this ball game. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed there to even up the count at 2-2. Good looking pitch there on the fastball, 94 on the gun from Kyle Nicholas. He's at 23 pitches on the day with 2 strikeouts, 1 base on balls, 1 hit. He has a 4.73 ERA as that 2-2 pitch is fouled back at the screen by Cole Andrews as he stays alive on that one. Kyle Nicholas, 32 innings pitched, 19 hits, 52 strikeouts on the year, and a 4.73 ERA, I just mentioned. So here comes the pitch. The 2-2 pitch from Nicholas is fired in there for a ball. Stealing is Cal Elvers, and he's going to get caught there as the throw was in time there by Sebi, and that's going to end the inning here for the Red Hawks as they were threatening a little bit there, but Ball State gets out of the inning, giving up no runs. Ball State still leads at 3-0 here at McKee Field. We're going to head to the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Back to action we go here. Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio here for Miami baseball as they trail Ball State 3-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Ball State coming to bat. Cole Netz has entered the game for the Red Hawks, the right-hander. 6'4", 212, senior from Woodbury, Minnesota. As he fires in his last warm-up pitch, and we're going to get underway as John Ricotta is going to step into the batter's box for the Cardinals. He's batting .296 on the year with 31 RBIs, 6 homers, and 26 runs. 1.69 ERA for Netz as he comes to the plate for the first time. Fouled back at the screen, right at the press box. It's going to bring the count to 1-0-1 here with no outs. Ball State still leading it 3-0 here. The Red Hawks are running out of opportunities. 0-1 pitch is high, and that's going to even up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Standing on deck for the Cardinals is going to be William Baker. Netz fires in a breaking ball that gets part of the plate there and gets called for a strike. And he gets ahead in the count. 1-2. Trying to punch out John Ricotta. Cole Netz in his first batter of the ball game as that 1-2 pitch is low and in the dirt, called for a ball. Even up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes with no outs. 2-2 pitch, low and outside. That's going to fill up the count at 3-2. That's threatening to walk the leadoff runner, the first batter he's faced in this ball game, as the wind picks up a little bit in the outfield. That 3-2 pitch is swung on, popped up, trying to call it there is. It's going to be caught there by the Red Hawks by Will Vogelsang as he calls off everybody else and makes the out. 1 out here for Cole Netz as he gets John Ricotta to pop out there, the first baseman. That's going to bring up William Baker. Batting .317 on the year. 18 RBIs. The first pitch by Netz is low over the plate, but a little bit low, and it's going to be called for a ball. One 0 pitch. Swing and a miss as 80 on the gun. That slider gets Baker and evens up the count at 1-1. Pretty looking pitch there from Cole Netz. 1-2 pitch is fired in there for another strike. 1-2 pitch now as Netz gets ahead in the count once again. Trying to get his second out of the inning. He has some work cut out for him. Down 3 as that slider misses the plate. Low and outside. Almost in the dirt there. Corralled there by Cal Elvers. That's going to even up the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Netz. Check swing. He said that he didn't go, and that's going to fill up the count once again. 3-2. First 2 batters for Netz, and he gets full count on the first 2. He got John Ricotta to pop up on that full count just a batter ago. Let's see what will happen here as the 3-2 pitch is fired in there from Netz and hits low and outside, and Netz is going to walk Baker over to first base, and stepping into the batter's box is going to be Matt Murphy, who scored in the last inning, one of those 3 runs for the Cardinals. So he reached on base on balls and also had a hit First pitch, check swing, and going down to second base as Matt Murphy goes over to third base as Jordan Stevens tried to tag him out, and it looks like they missed the call there. Stevens thought he had him. Questionable call there as the Red Hawks are upset with that one as Cal Elvers went down the second base and overthrew Vogelsang there on second base. It drifted into the center field and trying to get him on third base as Matt Murphy tried to go over there. It looked like they did get him, but they call him safe. So that's going to stand there. So runner from 90 feet away for Ball State with one out. 0-1 counts with Matt Murphy in the left-handed batter's box. The 0-1 pitch is fouled away over the first base line bleachers there. That's going to bring the count to 0-2 with one out. Miami trying not to surrender another run. They already trail 3-0, and runs have been not easy to come by in this ball game. 0-2 pitch is outside, and it's going to bring up a 1 ball and 2 strikes count with one out. With Will Baker, the third baseman, standing over there on third base, 90 feet away, trying to get him in as Ball State. All they need is a long fly ball. Here from Murphy. Murphy fouls back another pitch. It's going to keep the count the same at 1-2. One-two pitch. Showed bunt check swing there from Murphy, and he's going to get called for swinging. So they throw it down the first and call him out. It's going to bring up Chase Sebi for the Cardinals with 2 outs. Sebi also has one of the other runs for the Cardinals as he reached on an error back in the 7th inning. We're at the top of the 8th inning now. Ball State leading the Red Hawks 3-0 as that first pitch is fired in there for a ball from Cole Netz. 2 outs here, trying to get out of the inning as Cole Netz doesn't want to give up any more runs. He gave up 3 in the third. As that's 1-0 pitch is fouled and evens up the count at 1-1. Netz has no earned runs as the Red Hawks had 2 errors there in the 7th inning. 1-1 pitch inside, and it's going to be called for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on third, William Baker for the Cardinals. Trying to pick up some more insurance runs is Ball State. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and that's going to even up the count at 2-2. Sebi, the catcher, batting .260 on the year with 24 RBIs, 24 runs. One of those just came moments ago in the top of the 7th inning. No homers. The 2-2 pitch from Netz misses the plate outside, low and away, 79 mile an hour. Slider misses the plate, and that's going to bring up a full count with 2 outs. Runner will be going there on third base. And that one is inside as Netz walks Sebi over to first base. bringing up Noah Powell with the runners on the corners, 2 outs, with Ball State leading it 3-0 against the Redhawks here at home in Oxford, Ohio. This is the continuation of Game 1 from yesterday after the overnight rain delay. The game that was scheduled today that was supposed to be at 4 o'clock has been moved tomorrow, as we will have a doubleheader starting at 12 noon tomorrow afternoon on Easter Sunday, and the second game will follow 45 minutes after that. Ball game has been concluded as that first pitch is fired in there for a ball there by Cole Netz. Sebi and Baker on the corners for Ball State. There's ducks on this pond as Netz comes home. It's misplayed there by Cal Elvers, and he tosses it to Netz, and they get Baker there as he missed the plate, missed the tag, and then the second opportunity there from Netz to tag him out is successful, and that's going to end the inning there as the Redhawks don't give up any runs there in the bottom or the top of the 8th inning, and that's going to bring up the Redhawks here in the bottom of the 8th inning after this quick break. Goes to Miami Baseball and Redhawk Radio. Redhawks trail it 3-0 against the Ball State Cardinals.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes. Another.
Back to action we go here at McKee Field. Kenny Schierlinger alongside you here as this is a rendition of Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio on YouTube Live. Thank you for tuning in. Redhawks trail at 3-0 against the Cardinals, trying to manufacture some runs. They erased the 3-0 lead that Ball State has built, which they built on 2 errors and 1 hit in the top of the 7th inning. As that first pitch is fired in there to Cole Andrews for a ball. Andrews batting .330 on the year as he knocks that one into left center field. He's going to turn around first base, going for a double, and he's going to cruise right into second base with the lead-off double, just what the doctor ordered there for the Redhawks as Cole Andrews laced that one to the left of the Miami M in center field. And the Redhawks are in business now with a runner in scoring position on second base off the double there from Cole Andrews. That's going to bring up Reed Norberg, who's batting .333 on the year, 1 homer, 9 runs, and 12 RBIs. He's trying to make that 13 here with the runner in scoring position. Kyle Nicholas, pitch count up to 31 pitches for him. Maybe he's showing a little bit of shakiness here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Norberg, the first pitch is called for a strike there by Nicholas. 94 on the gun. Fastball catches the inside part of the plate. Ball State 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Miami 0 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors. It's been the story of the game with the errors from Miami is that 0-1 pitch is fired in there with a breaking ball at 86 miles per hour. Called for a strike. 0-2 count there. Here on Reed Norberg. Norberg, redshirt freshman from San Diego, California. Probably not too used to this spring weather in Ohio with the cold, driving rain. It's about 40 degrees with the wind. Has not been a nice past 2 days here in Oxford in southwestern Ohio. But it should clear up tomorrow, and we'll be able to get the other two ball games in of this series. Ball State trying to catch Miami in the top of the MAC standings. 0-2 pitch. Check swing over the plate. It's not going to matter as he strikes out there. Reed Norberg is sat down there by Kyle Nicholas. That's going to bring up one out. And coming to the plate for the Redhawks is going to be Parker Massman. 222 hitter with 17 RBIs on the year. The outfielder, 6 foot, 170, right-handed batter, sophomore from Carmel, Indiana, north of Indianapolis. First pitch swung on there and fouled back into the parking lot by Massman. Massman is 0-2 with one strikeout and one flyout in this ball game. .20 hits on the year. 0-2 pitch, or 0-1 pitch is low and away there, and it's going to be called for a ball. 1-1, even count with one out. Runner on second base for the Redhawks. So that's Colt Andrews, who had the leadoff double for Miami. The 1-1 pitch coming here from Nicholas. Fouled back over the Ball State dugout into the netting there to protect the spectators behind the dugout there, and that's going to bring the count to 1-2 for Parker Massman. So we're going to get a timeout called here. It looks like Chase Sebi is having some trouble with his contact lenses. You're going to get that worked out, and we'll get back to play shortly here. On deck for the Redhawks is Christian Tejada, who, of course, had that error to start that 7th inning, and that really kind of made the wheels fall off for the Redhawks, and they gave up 3 runs on 2 errors and 1 hit. And that's the only runs we've had in this ball game. It took us 7 innings to get there with any runs. Miami had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. Sam Bachman got the start yesterday, and he was relieved. Like Shane Smith, and then Cole Netz has come into the ball game. He's the pitcher now for the Redhawks. 1-2 pitch is high, called for a ball, even up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner on second for Miami, with Christian Tejada in the hole here for the Redhawks. Right in front of Carlos Texador, the assistant coach for the Redhawks and former infielder for Miami last year. So he moved over to the coaching staff as we're going to get a check swing there by Massman, and they're going to say he didn't go, and that's going to bring the count to 3-2, full count with 1 out. It's do or die time here for Miami in the 8th inning as scoring opportunities have been rare for these Redhawks yesterday and this afternoon. So 3-2 pitch brought in, and that's going to be high and caught for a ball there by Sebi, and that's going to be a walk there from Kyle Nicholas, and the Redhawks have the tying run coming to the plate with Christian Tejada, runners on first and second. As Massman walks, and it goes to the top of the order for the Redhawks with the center fielder, Christian Tejada, who's batting .388 on the season with 22 RBIs. Having a pretty good season is Tejada. First pitch is swung on into right field, and it's going to be just foul, just right at the foul pole. Probably didn't have distance there if it hit the wall there against the right field line there, but could have been off the wall. Just a little bit late on that one. So the count is at 1-0 with one out. Runners on first and second for Miami. Kyle Nicholas is coming towards the home plate. Breaking ball is going to be called for a ball inside as he just missed the plate there. Good looking pitch there from Kyle Nicholas, whose pitch count is now at 40. 3 strikeouts, 2 base on balls for Nicholas. 1-1 pitch. It's going to be called for a strike. Slider 82 miles an hour. Gets Nicholas ahead of the count 1-2. Leadoff double for the Red Hawks to start the inning, and then a full count walk moments ago from Nicholas. 1-2 pitch is outside. Sebi cocks back and fakes down to first base, trying to keep the Red Hawks runner at bay with Parker Maspin on first. Cole Andrews, who is on second after his leadoff double. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed there by Christian Tejada as Nicholas gets him on strikes and gets the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Will Vogelsang for the Red Hawks. He's 0 for 2 with 1 walk and 2 ground outs. Vogelsang takes the first pitch for a ball, and the inside corner just missed the plate. 1 ball, 0 strikes, 2 outs. Runners first and second for the Red Hawks, trying to manufacture some runs here. They trail it 3-0 against Ball State here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-0 pitch, swung on, grounded down the third baseline, and it's going to drift foul there by Vogelsang, and that's going to even up the count at 1-1. Standing on deck for the Red Hawks is Landon Stevens. And in the hole is Jordan Stevens, who will join us after the conclusion of this ball game. The 1-1 pitch coming shortly from Kyle Nicholas. And that one catches the inside corner of the plate, called for a strike. 1-2 count. Down to their last strike in this inning here is Miami with 2 outs. Vogelsang's going to get a meeting from head coach of the Red Hawks, Danny Hayden. He's a third base coach in his 6th season, first year playing. He played his first year as a player here at Miami and then transferred to Xavier, finishing out his last 3 years. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Will Vogelsang trying to keep this inning going and move over the runners on bases. He swings on that one and strikes out. And that's going to end the inning for Miami as they strand 2 runners in the bottom of the 8th inning and still trail at 3-0 here at McKee Field. You're listening to Miami Baseball and Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Building relationships during recovery from mental and substance use disorders can put the strength of family and community behind you. We're all connected, offering encouragement, support, and hope. Join the Voices for Recovery. Strengthen families and communities.
these empties, Lord, as soon as I find where they lay. Tied off them.
Back to action we go here. Kenny Schierlinger for Red Hawk Radio. Miami baseball on Red Hawk Radio on YouTube Live as we head to the top of the 9th inning here with Ball State leading it 3-0 in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Continuation of Game 1 that started yesterday with Sam Bachman and Dre Jamison. Both those pitchers not going today as Shane Smith started the ball game for Miami, and Kyle Nicholas, who's still in the ball game for Ball State, also in. That first pitch from Cole Nats, who has taken over for Shane Smith. He has an early 2-0 count going against Noah Powell. The 2-0 pitch comes to the plate, Nets, and that one's going to be called for a ball. 3 straight balls there from Cole Nets, and he's going to get a mound visit here from pitching coach for the Red Hawks. Justin Dedman. Matthew Pastor actually out there for the Red Hawks as he gives Cole Nets a couple of confident words there and trying to get out of this inning, and the Red Hawks going to have to do some damage in the bottom of the 9th inning if they want to tie up this ball game and try to win it. Miami with Xavier coming into town this coming Tuesday, and then they have a home series with NIU. All those calls there on Red Hawk Radio in the coming weeks as that ball is fired in there for a ball, and that's 4 straight balls for Cole Nets as he walks the leadoff runner. Noah Powell, and that's going to bring up Tim Blankensberger, the 9th hitter in the order, the DH. He's batting .212, 6 RBIs on the year. So they're going to pinch hit Justin Conant for Blankensberger. The freshman batting .192 on the year with 1 RBI and 5 runs. From Shorewood, Illinois, Joliet Catholic Academy, 5'11", 180. Right-handed batter, right-handed infielder for the Cardinals. Looking what happened yesterday in the MAC scoreboard around the conference. Central Michigan dropping the Toledo 4-3. Western Michigan got the win against Bowling Green 5-1. Northern Illinois 17-11 against Kent State in this game. It was called a rain delay yesterday, and we're continuing that right now as that first pitch from Nets is called for a strike. Other game was Eastern Michigan and Ohio as the Bobcats beat the Eagles. Runner on first for the Cardinals here in the top of the 9th inning. The 0-1 pitch. Conant shows bunt and pulls it back and takes a ball there for the Cardinals. 1-1 pitch coming shortly here from Cole Nets, who's now at 29 pitches on the day. Set, the windup, the pitch. He comes to home plate, and that's fired in there for a strike over the plate to get ahead in the count. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 0 outs here for the Ball State Cardinals, trying to add some more insurance runs. Already up 3-0 as they had 3 runs on 2 errors and 1 hit in the top of the 7th inning and haven't looked back since. The 1-2 pitch is low in the dirt, and going down to second base successfully there is Noah Powell on the wild pitch. Two-two count now with runner in scoring position with Noah Powell, the shortstop, standing on second base. Justin Conant, the pinch hitter for Ball State, in the right-handed batter's box. He cocks the bat over the right shoulder. Low stance, bending at the knees as he takes that 2-2 pitch in for a ball that was inside. Didn't catch enough of the plate to be called for a strike, so that's going to fill the count up at 3-2 with no outs, as we're going to get a mound visit from Cal Elvers. A little action going on for the Redhawks over in the bullpen. Tough to see the number down there who's warming up. Colnet's showing a little shakiness here in the top of the 9th inning. 3-2 pitch coming up next here from Colnet's. Trying to get Conant. He is a swing and a miss as he got him on strikes. Nice breaking ball there. 78 miles per hour on the gun. It gets the first out for the Redhawks. Big pitch there from Colnet's to get the pitch hitter, Justin Conant, out there. And that's going to bring us to the top of the order with Andrew Simpson at bat for the Cardinals. He's reached on 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He has 3 stolen bases this afternoon and yesterday. First pitch is hit into center field. A diving catch there by Christian Tejada that will be recorded as the second out. Great catch there from Christian Tejada as he dived right at the Miami M and makes up for that error there, as that would have been another run if he didn't corral that one. If he let that one get past him, would have been a very easily been a run there for Noah Powell, as he would have scored standing up. Nobody behind Tejada to back him up there. So 2 outs. First pitch is wild and gets back to the backstop, and moving over to third base is Noah Powell. Runner 90 feet away for the Cardinals, trying to score their 4th run of the ballgame. Standing on deck is Ross Messina. Noah Navarro in the right-handed batter's box as he faces a 1-0 count with 2 outs. Colnet's trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Redhawks have gave up 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning on 1 hit and 2 errors. That is hit right to Jordan Stevens as he handles that one nicely, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning and end the top of the 9th inning for the Ball State Cardinals. So coming up is the Redhawks with their last opportunities to try to tie this ball game or take the lead here. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. We'll be right back. Bottom of the ninth inning here. Kenny Schierlinger alongside with you as Red Hawk Radio brings you Miami baseball. Miami with their last opportunity to try to extend this ball game. Down 3 runs to Ball State. Is coming to bat for the Red Hawks is going to be Landon Stevens. On deck is Jordan Stevens. No relation. This is the last opportunity for the Red Hawks. Kyle Nicholas in to close it out for the Cardinals as he fires in that first pitch for a ball. 1-0 count, 0 outs. Ball State with 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Miami with no runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors. 1-0 pitch is lined up the middle there by Landon Stevens into center field. Leadoff single there for Stevens as he gets the inning started with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up Jordan Stevens here for the Red Hawks as they are in business. They just need a couple more hits. Tying run is on deck for the Red Hawks. 4 hits for the Red Hawks with 3 errors. Those 3 errors really were the crucial parts of this ball game. In that 7th inning, that Ball State scored 3 runs. Started with the Christian Tejada dropped pop-up, and then Jordan Stevens was credited with the error, but it was a nicely put down bunt that probably should have been scored for a hit. First pitch is fouled back at the screen from Jordan Stevens. 95 on the gun from Kyle Nicholas. He looks like he's unloading everything out of the tank here in this 9th inning. Stevens trying to move over his fellow base runner here. Landon Stevens on deck is Kyle Winkler. Stevens with 2 strikeouts in this ball game as he takes a ball inside. Has to turn away a little bit there as that one was high and tight. 1-1 with no outs. Runner on first base, and that's Landon Stevens. Almost a 1 o'clock on the hour here. We started here at 11:30. The 1-1 pitch. That one is called for a strike. Breaking ball, 81 miles an hour on the gun. That catches part of the plate. 1-2 count as Nicholas gets ahead of Stevens. Stevens crowding the plate here in the right-handed batter's box. Cocks the bat over his right shoulder. He's going to take the 2-1 pitch, or 1-2 pitch. He drowns that one over to the third baseman, Murphy, and he is going to get thrown out on the first for the first out. It's actually Baker who fielded that one. He fired it over the Ricotta, and Stevens moves over to the runner, the scoring position, Landon Stevens, but he records the first out. That's going to bring up Kyle Winkler. First pitch is called for a ball outside for Winkler, 1-0. Landon Stevens over there in second base in scoring position. Runner, or tying run, is on deck. That's Cal Alvers. 1-0 pitch is called for a ball, 2-0. Kyle Winkler batting .327 on the year. 25 RBIs, 4 home runs, and 28 runs. This is the continuation of game 1 from yesterday, and the 2-0 pitch is a swinging strike there from Kyle Nicholas as he gets Winkler to swing and a miss there. He picked up play here at 11:30 a.m. in the top of the 6th inning. It was scoreless, and then in the top of the 7th, Ball State scored 3 runs. 2-1 pitch is another swung on swing and miss there from Winkler. That's going to even up the count at 2-2. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Winkler, the right-handed batter's box. He takes the 2-2 pitch. He pops it up, and it looks like it's going to stay in play. Actually, it's just going to drift over beyond the Ball State bullpen over there in right field, out of play. Count stays at 2-2 with 1 out. Runner in scoring position for the Redhawks. That's Landon Stevens. Cal Elvers standing on deck with, as he represents the tying run in this ball game. Redhawks down 3-0 here in the 9th inning. Nicholas in the mid-50s and pitch count. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul towards the Red Hawk dugout. Second straight foul ball there from Winkler. So he's staying alive. Nicholas, the Ohio native from Massillon, Ohio, north of here. The 2-2 pitch from Nicholas, the Winkler. Breaking ball that stays high. 85 on the gun, and that's going to fill up the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Redhawks can get a walk here. They'll be in business here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Full count pitch is inside. Almost catches Winkler there on the shoulder, but nonetheless, it's going to be a walk. And that's going to bring up Cal Elvers for the Redhawks, who's batting .357, 25 RBIs, 5 homers, and 24 runs. This is the guy you exactly want up in the 9th inning when you have runners on the base pass, when you're down by 3. Buster Posey Award watch list. Cal Elvers steps into the right-handed batter's box, trying to manufacture runs for the Redhawks. The first pitch coming from Nicholas. Breaking ball that doesn't catch any part of the plate, and that's going to be called for a ball. Elvers, the catcher, 6'1", 200 pounds, the junior from Springfield, Illinois. And we're going to get a visit here by Ball State pitching coach. Actually, it's head coach Rich Maloney in his 14th season with Ball State, winningest coach in school history with 764 wins, trying to get 765 today if they can close out this ball game. They lead it 3-0 against the Redhawks here in the bottom of the 9th inning, but the Redhawks are threatening here with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Landon Stevens on second. Kyle Winkler on first. Cal Elvers at bat. He represents the tying run. Game-winning run is Cole Andrews on deck. Last time up, had a double. 1-0 pitch is a pass ball that gets back to the backstop, and that's going to move the runners over to second and third. Runners in major scoring position now. With Cal Elvers with a 2-0 count with 1 out. Miami threatening here. A base hit would most likely score 2 here for the Redhawks in the bottom of the 9th inning. Nicholas comes home with a 2-0 pitch, and that's fouled back at the screen by Cal Elvers. That's going to bring the count to 2-1 with 1 out. Just joining us, this is the continuation of Game 1 from yesterday that was called in the 6th inning, and we continued in the top of the 6th inning today at 11:30. It was scoreless yesterday, and Ball State scored 7 runs in the 7th inning as that pitch is fired in there for a ball. 3-1 counts. Ball State scoring on 2 errors and 1 hit in the top of the 6th inning. They go on top 3-0, and that's where we've stood since then. But Miami threatening here in the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to tie it up or possibly even get a walk-off win here at McKee Field in the continuation of this Game 1. 3-game series on Easter weekend between Ball State and Miami, who are 1-2 in the MAC standings. The 3-1 pitch coming from Nicholas is going to be high, and that's going to load the bases up here in the bottom of the 9th inning with Cole Andrews coming to bat for the Redhawks. He's batting .337 with 22 RBIs, 3 homers, And last time he was up, he laced the ball into the outfield for a leadoff double. So Cole Andrews with the hot hand, and we're going to get a pinch runner here for the Redhawks. Coming in for Cal Elvers is Stephen Hammer, the 5'10", 165 freshman from St. Charles, Illinois, by way of St. Charles North High School. Redhawks in business now. 1 out. Kyle Nicholas looking shaky here in this 9th inning. First pitch is a curveball that is outside, called for a ball here by Cole Andrews. Andrews, 1-0 pitch. He sits there and takes another ball. 2-0, 1 out. And Ball State's going to look like they're going to go to the bullpen here as head coach Rich Maloney heads to the mound. And we're going to get a pitching change in the middle of the at-bat with 1 out with Cole Andrews with a 2-0 count. We'll take a quick break here on Red Hawk Radio. Listen to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question.
Nick Floyd's going to be the pitcher for Ball State as he inherits a jam here. Bases loaded, bottom of the 9th inning, 1 out in the middle of an at-bat. 2 balls, 0 strikes, and at the bat for the Redhawks is Cole Andrews. Standing on third base is Landon Stevens. On second is Kyle Winkler, and the pinch runner Stephen Hammer on first base. So here comes Nick Floyd, the senior from Elkhart, Indiana. The right-hander comes to the plate for the first time, and he fires in a strike over the plate. 79-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. They'll bring the count to 2-1 here with 1 out. On deck for the Redhawks is Reed Norberg. Cole Andrews batting .337 on the year. The 2-1 pitch swung on and hit to third base. It's bobbled there by the third baseman. He goes to third base, and they're going to get him out there, and a runner scores here as Landon Stevens comes home to the plate. That was bobbled there by Will Baker, and luckily, after he slipped, he's able to tag third base and get the second out of the inning, but not before the Redhawks score one, and Landon Stevens. And runners now at first and second base on the ground. Grounder would turn into a fielder's choice. by Cole Andrews. It's going to bring up Reed Norberg, batting .328. 1 homer, 12 RBIs, and 9 runs. He's going to step into the right-handed batter's box here with 2 outs. Redhawks down to the last out of the ball game. They do get 1 run there on the fielder's choice. And Nick Floyd trying to get out of this inning and send Ball State home victorious. First pitch is low and in the dirt, called for a ball. 2 more games coming for both these squads. They will be played tomorrow in a doubleheader starting at noon. Miami first place in the MAC. Ball State second place in the MAC. Big series here. Check swing, and they say he does not go, and that's going to bring the count to 2-0 with 2 outs. Reed Norberg yesterday with the bases loaded. Hit a long fly ball to left field that did not go. 2-0 count here. Redhawks need Norberg to get on base here. No more outs to give here for the Redhawks. 2-0 pitch. It's called for a strike. Breaking ball that catches the inside corner of the plate. Nice looking pitch there from Nick Floyd. He boasts a 2.48 ERA with 32 innings pitched, 31 hits, and 31 strikeouts. 2-1 pitch here coming from Nick Floyd. That one is called for a ball. 3-1. Nick Floyd threatening to load the bases back up for the Redhawks once again with Parker Massman on deck. Norberg got to believe that he's going to sit on this one unless it's a hanging curve or something like that. 3-1 pitch. It's swung on and fouled into the Redhawks dugouts, and that's going to fill the count up at 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners will be going here. Nothing to give here with Miami down to their last strike, last out, and their last inning. They trail it 3-1 against Ball State, who scored 3 in the top of the 7th inning. Miami has scored 1 on the fielder's choice in the bottom of the 9th here. The full count pitch swung and hit up the middle. This is going to score 1 at least. Coming home is the Redhawks, and that's going to score 1, and that's going to be scorer Stephen Hammer, the pinch runner, and that's going to bring the Redhawks down to a 3-2 deficit now. RBI base hit here for Reed Norberg to pull the Redhawks within 1 of the lead, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for the Redhawks. Charlie Harrigan, the 6', 195 junior from LaGrange, Illinois, is going to come in for the Redhawks. Miami scores 1 on the hit. The Redhawks have 2 runs on 5 hits and 3 errors. 2 in this inning in the bottom of the 9th inning with the tying run 90 feet away from home plate. Nick Floyd trying to get out of this 9th inning. Colin Shepard standing on third base for the Redhawks. Pitch. First pitch is called for a strike. Harrigan holds off on that one. Harrigan takes the second pitch. That one's called for a strike. Catches the outside corner of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Charlie Harrigan. Ball State trying to escape this 9th inning that they've given up 2 runs with a win. They lead it 3-2 now. Redhawks trying to tie it up. It's up to Charlie Harrigan. The 0-2 pitch coming here from Nick Floyd. Sets up outside, and that's going to be called for a ball there as Sebi set up outside trying to get Harrigan the chase there. He holds off on that, and it's a 1-2 count now with 2 outs. Runner on third. Colin Shepard for the Redhawks. 1-2 pitch coming here from Floyd. He comes to the plate, and that one's in the dirt. Bounces to home plate. That's going to even up the count at 2-2. Colin Shepard over there, 90 feet home from home plate from Westerfield, Ohio, the junior from Sinclair's Community College just up the road from Oxford. Off of 70. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit to the second baseman, Navarro. He flips over to the first base, and that's going to end the ball game here as Ball State wins against the Redhawks here at McKee Field in Game 1 in this 3-game set on Easter weekend. That's going to conclude baseball action here today as Game 2 has been postponed till tomorrow, as we will play 2 games in a doubleheader starting at noon. And 45 minutes after that, we will have another game to conclude the series. That is a huge series for both these squads. Miami still in first place in the MAC, but they could find themselves in second if they don't perform tomorrow against the Ball State Cardinals. So that's going to do it here for Red Hawk Radio as Miami baseball falls to Ball State 3-2 here at McKee Ballpark. For Kenny Schierlinger, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon with the first pitch coming at 12 noon on Easter Sunday. Have a good Easter weekend, everybody, and the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.